Just when the coaching staff thought the defensive trenches were set for the season, a highly unexpected departure from camp just threw a serious curveball at Mint Street. Panthers fans know how quickly the depth chart can shift in August. While losing a reliable veteran is tough, this sudden goodbye has instantly cleared the runway for a crazy athletic rookie who has been turning heads at practice every single day. The Keep Pounding faithful will absolutely love the insane hustle this young kid is bringing to fill that sudden void before our next big preseason test. The Carolina Panthers are navigating a sudden roster shakeup as defensive end LaBryan Ray has officially announced his retirement from the NFL. At just 28 years old, Ray is stepping away after spending the last 3 seasons as a core contributor in Carolina. The impact of his departure is significant, as Mike Kay of the Charlotte Observer reported that Ray played in more games for DC Ejiro Evero over the last 3 years than anyone else currently on the roster. Since 2023, he appeared in 46 games with 10 starts, logging 54% of snaps in 2024 and 19% in 2025. His absence creates a noticeable void in our defensive rotation, and fans are understandably unsettled by the timing of this news right in the thick of training camp. Here's the thing nobody wants to say about this development, though. The snap count that Ray vacates is massive, and we are now forced to find out who has the grit to fill those shoes immediately. The spotlight shifts directly to rookie Aaron Hall, an undrafted free agent from Duke who has been turning heads with his 9.67 relative athletic score and explosive motor. Teammate Cam Jackson noted his twitchy athleticism during OTAs, and Joe Person of The Athletic confirmed that all eyes will be on Hall during Thursday's Hall of Fame game against the Arizona Cardinals. While the buzz around the rookie is undeniably loud, we have to wonder if he is truly prepared to handle the intensity of live game action when the defensive line rotation is suddenly under this much pressure to perform. The sudden nature of this departure leaves a vacuum that goes deeper than just a spot on the depth chart. We are witnessing an abrupt conclusion to a career that served as a stabilizer for this defensive front, particularly given his heavy usage in Ejiro Evero's scheme over the past 3 seasons. It is rare to see a player step away while clearly still in the mix for meaningful snaps, especially considering he logged over half of the defensive load as recently as 2024. And the more I look at this, the front office is likely viewing this as a forced acceleration of their long-term personnel plan. They were clearly comfortable relying on his veteran presence, but they are now pressed to determine if Aaron Hall possesses the necessary discipline to handle complex professional blocking schemes before the regular season kicks off. Historically, losing a steady rotational piece during the dog days of training camp creates a domino effect on the rest of the position group. Coaches hate unexpected instability because it prevents them from evaluating the broader defensive cohesion. They must now decide whether to trust the undrafted rookie's raw 9.667 athletic rating or search for an external veteran who might be available later this month. The expectation behind closed doors is surely that the younger defensive ends will seize this available playing time without the team losing its structural integrity on the edge. Relying on an unproven player is always a gamble, but the staff now has zero room for error as they adjust the rotation to account for this void. With the breaking news of LaBryan Ray stepping away from the gridiron, we must examine the tangible consequences this creates for our defensive unit heading into the regular season. Here is where it gets interesting as the Panthers now shift their focus from veteran reliability to the unproven high-potential energy of the younger roster. Ray was a consistent fixture in Ejiro Evero's scheme for 3 seasons, and his departure leaves a noticeable gap in the rotation that needs to be filled immediately to maintain our defensive standard. The immediate priority centers on Aaron Hall, an undrafted talent out of Duke whose relative athletic score of 9.67 indicates he has the physical profile to compete at this level. While the coaches were comfortable with the stability Ray provided, they must now trust in the raw motor and explosive get-off that teammates like Cam Jackson have highlighted throughout the offseason. This transition carries significant weight because the depth chart adjustments affect our flexibility against division rivals and our overall competitiveness in the hunt for a postseason berth. We will see the first major test of this new reality during the Hall of Fame game in Canton. Whether Hall can translate his practice speed into productive snaps against the Arizona Cardinals will tell us a great deal about the resilience of this defensive line. Losing a player who held such a steady role is never easy, yet the front office is signaling that the next wave of talent must be ready to contribute right now. We cannot afford any drop-off in production if this team intends to improve its standing in a very difficult division. Moving on from a veteran piece like LeBron Ray offers a unique upside by forcing our front office to prioritize youthful hunger over established familiarity. Younger guys often bring a different level of tenacity that can spark a defensive front when they know a starting job is within reach. Now, here's the thing. This sudden retirement creates a glaring downside by removing a guy who took nearly 20% of snaps just last year and provided steady veteran reliability for Ejiro Evero. We simply lack the proof that our reserves can handle those high-leverage moments without a drop-off in production during the heat of the regular season. Media analysts are already watching how this changes the pecking order, specifically noting that undrafted free agents like Aaron Hall are now firmly under the microscope for the upcoming showdown in Canton. While some might suggest looking for a veteran replacement outside the organization, I think the team is betting everything on the raw upside of these younger players stepping up into the light. My honest take here is that relying solely on an unproven rookie to fill a void this late in the game is a risky gamble, regardless of how impressive that 9.67 athletic score looks on paper. I see real danger in assuming a player can translate twitchy practice athleticism into professional game day dominance against the Arizona Cardinals without stumbling early. We need to see if these guys possess the mental processing speed to handle complex blocking schemes when the game speed ramps up significantly, or this rotation might struggle to maintain the necessary intensity that our defensive identity depends upon. When we synthesize the sudden retirement of LeBron Ray with the immediate roster implications, we see a franchise forced to expedite its youth movement sooner than anticipated. This development shifts our team's trajectory toward a leaner, faster defensive identity that leans heavily on the potential of unproven talent like Aaron Hall. For those of us who have followed this unit for years, it is natural to feel a sense of unease seeing a reliable veteran walk away while training camp is still in full swing. However, we should view this as a necessary trial by fire rather than a disaster. Because Ray occupied a consistent role, this opening provides the exact environment needed to determine if our younger guys possess the poise required to hold their own against professional blockers. Aaron Hall enters this situation with raw physical tools that are hard to ignore, yet the transition from Duke to NFL-level intensity is never guaranteed. And honestly, we are looking at a pivotal moment where coaching trust will be earned or lost in a single week. We need to see if his high-energy playstyle can survive the physical demands of regular season snaps, or if the lack of experience depth will become a glaring weakness by October. If you had to wager on it today, do you believe Aaron Hall is currently talented enough to secure a permanent starting spot on this defensive line by the time we face our first conference opponent? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Keep pounding. I'll see you in the next one.